Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Everett Lead Show.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Woo! Slammin' Thursday edition.
All Elite Wrestling Dynamite!
We are NXT!
With Everett Lee
Damn!
and the Chris Rose.
Let's do this!
That's right, let's do this. Welcome, everyone, to another Everett Lee Show Slammin' Thursday edition. On this Thursday night, right here live in Podcast City Network Studios in Daytona Beach, Florida. As always, I am the Everett Lee, and I am joined by my fantastic co-host, the best European uppercut in the business. Make your jaw hurting for days. You have to go see a dentist. And I'm not talking about seeing Isaac Yankum DDS. I'm talking about the Chris Rose, baby. How you doing there, Chris?
Let me tell you something. Fantastic. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like, I'm getting back on track, even though I didn't pick up the win this past Saturday. Yes, but, I look great out there, and I let it slip right through my fingers, but the Chris Rose will win this weekend when he goes against Coda, and he's a newcomer at KZW, and you've seen him in various matches as of late, and I'm going to beat him down, and I will beat him and win the match and be back on track for the United States Championship.
I believe that. Let me give you a round of applause for that.
And I'm ready for the...
And what you ready for?
podcast tonight. I am ready for Slammin' Thursday.
Are you ready for Slammin' Thursday?
I'm ready for Slammin' Thursday. I was in and out of Raw. I split screened it for the first time ever. NXT and AEW. Switched them in and out on my phone and TV. Yeah, man. I like doing it that way. I'm probably going to do it that way from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a whole lot better, and I don't have a notepad anymore.
You don't?
So I'm just going to go off my head. No, I don't have one right now, but I'm going to get another one tomorrow.
Okay.
But watch the stuff, and I will give you my opinion whenever we get to whatever we are discussing on the show and on the card for each of them.
Okay. Excellent. Because on this Slammin' Thursday edition here of the Everett Lee Show, Slammin' Thursday edition with Everett Lee, these Chris Rose tonight, we're going to be talking about AEW NXT reviews this week. We're going to discuss what happened this week. Which show was better, in our opinion, and this day in wrestling history, and we're going to kind of keep it open discussion. I think towards the last part of the show, Chris, you think I should open up the phone lines?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea to get some input from our fans and see what's on their mind, see what's on top of their head. And, and they can pick our brain and we can pick theirs. have some good conversations.
That's right. I'm happy that you're for it, because if we get anybody that calls in and wants to hijack our show, you're gonna get this right here.
That is incorrect.
And we're just going to basically and you're out of there.
Yeah. If you use vulgar language, or if you're, we use vulgar language on here, but we don't do it when we're really, really drunk, and we try not to do it when we can, but it slips out. But anybody gets on here and acts like a fool, we will send you to the showers. You will get teed up. You will be out of here.
Yeah, so no one just get on here and just...
We about to get stupid.
Because if you come on here and we ask, hello, you're calling in to the Everett Lee Show, who are we speaking to, and we get... We're just going to basically just...
Wolfman's got nards!
And you're out of here. So, with the ground rules laid down on this Slammin Thursday edition, so let's jump right into it. We'll be taking phone calls later on, but let's get into it here. Flip that coin, Chris. NXT or AEW?
Man, I enjoyed both shows, and, watching them back and forth. And where I didn't take notes, it was kind of tough to keep up with it. But, man, as far as wrestling-wise, NXT won. But, man, the ending to AEW with Cody and MJF Wardlow segment, that was the best thing, and that's what won for me. I think AEW won because of that last part, the main event of AEW.
Really? So you wanna start out talking about AEW then?
We can do that. If you want to. Let's talk out doing it.
All right. Let's jump in and talk about AEW, man. AEW this week, Jon Moxley opened up the program. Of course, he's still wearing the patch on his eye, coming down that through the crowd, like his old Shield days back with his former persona in WWE, Dean Ambrose. Coming down through the crowd with that patch on his eye, looking all Jack Sparrow, getting in the ring. And he had a match with Ortiz, one half of the Inner Circle tag team with Santana coming to the ring with him. Moxley, all I got to say about Moxley in the ring, I love his abilities, but I also love how they did this opening match for the fact that we usually get to see Ortiz and Santana in a tag team. Now we get to see Ortiz in a singles match. So I do like the change up this week, how instead of seeing a tag team together in a tag match, them doing singles. And Ortiz, he was good. He was good, some of the moves he was pulling out, but Moxley just came out on top there. A lot of close calls there towards the end of the match there with the double arm DDT. And refresh my memory, what are they calling his double hook arm DDT now? It was Dirty Deeds WWE. What the hell is it called now?
It's now called the Paradigm Shift.
Oh, okay. Paradigm Shift. Okay. I wasn't aware. I was trying to keep track and keep up with what the hell they keep calling these names now, because in one promotion it's called this and another promotion is called that now. And that's a pretty good name for it. I like it.
Companies trademark it. Some of these guys are good at reinventing themselves, leaving a company that trademarks that brand that made them a star in that company, and you go to company B, and you have to reinvent yourself. Some don't, some do. And Moxley has. I think Moxley's a big star in AEW. And, this match, Pretty good opener. I mean, I love how Moxley sells the eye. And I love the stuff afterwards, an eye for an eye match next week. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is going to be fun. The one thing, man, I liked was at the end when he took the key and he took it to was it Ortiz or Santana? It was Santana, right?
Yes, Santana will be in the eye for an eye match.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he took the key to.
Yeah, Santana got attacked. He got attacked last week. With the screwdriver to the eye. Yeah.
Damn. That just kills me, man. Just seeing that shit, man. You know that's gonna hurt, man. You know that's gonna hurt, but I've never seen anything like this before. Have you seen anything ever like this before? I've seen fire to the eyes. I've seen mist to the eyes. I've even seen spit to the eyes. Now, a spike to the eye. This is something different.
Yes.
I've not seen it. Have you seen anything like this before?
I forgot it wasn't a screwdriver. It was a pick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I saw the highlights on this show. They were showing highlights of it. Yeah, really good segment. I enjoyed it.
A little bit too much bubbly there for me.
Drinking a little bit of the bubbly.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this match was great, and I love this feud, and I love how everything is going on with this feud here, and it's building hype, and it's getting me really interested in seeing what's going to be happening at the next AEW pay-per-view that's going to be coming up here shortly, I believe at the end of the month.
Saudi Arabia. Yeah,
No, that's
going to be. It's going to be. Brock Lesnar and Ricochet for the WWE Championship. Should be a good one.
Yeah, but that's not AEW. I said AEW, not WWE.
Sorry, I thought you said WWE. My bad. Yeah, Revolution coming up. Yeah, Moxley and Jericho.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jericho's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like I said last week, Jericho will win and still be lead champion and come out on top.
All right. Little early prediction there, ladies and gentlemen. A little early prediction there from the Chris Rose. And I think you said that last week.
Yeah. Last week on the show, I also made that same prediction. I'm sticking to it.
And again, he is going to be sticking to it. And it's going to be interesting to see these two throw it down in the ring at this next AEW pay-per-view. Best Friends with Orange Cassidy versus SoCal. Uncensored. Now, Best Friends, they can hold their own in this match. They held their own in this match against the Best Friends, but what I thought was pretty crazy was when people started flying and coming outside the ring and everything, and they're all laid out on the ring.
Yeah.
Here comes Orange Cassidy, strolls right over. He lays right down in the middle of them. I did think that was, I thought that was funny, but
I actually liked it. I actually thought that was funny, and I mean. Yeah, I popped big time for that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't really pop too much for the guy because I'm not too in tune with what he's doing, though. But the more and more I see Orange Cassidy and what he's doing now, it's starting to grow on me a little bit. It's starting to grow on me a little bit, and I thought that was hilarious. He just laid down and reminded me of back Damien Sandow back in being the Miz stunt double back in the day. That kind of reminded me of that. So I cracked a smile at that. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. But then during the match, I figured I was hoping SoCal Uncensored were going to win this. But unfortunately, you have the Dark Order, our favorite group, came in, Chris, and they threw the match out. And then Orange Cassidy gets in the ring, and they wanted him to join. So then he sticks his hands up in the air, and he shoves them in his pockets. And then he gets his ass kicked. His ass gets stomped like a mud hole and walked dry. A little bit of Stone Cold Steve Austin reference right there, son. What? But besides that, Frankie, not Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels comes running out for the save. And the Dark Order's been targeting him to join. And there for a minute, I thought he was going to join, turn around and start stomping Orange Cassidy into the mat. But that didn't happen. That did not happen. Do you think Christopher Daniels is going to end up joining Dark Order and turning on SoCal? Do you think it's time for him to have a little change up? I think he should, honestly. As much as I don't really.
Sorry.
No. No, go ahead.
I think that at Revolution, I think they'll save it for then. I think Christopher Daniels is gonna be in the Dark Order, and they're gonna try something different with him. I think that's gonna happen.
He needs to freshen it up a little bit. I think it's time for a change. I like to see him just do something different. And SoCal has been a good, strong tag team with Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. They've been great. They've been great. Christopher Daniels been kind of sidelined there, so this would be a perfect time for him to jump into another faction and join them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he can be the leader of the Dark Order, and that might help them in a way and get Christopher Daniels back to that more serious style.
Mm-hmm.
And joking around and goofing around like SCU did. And Christopher
Yeah.
Daniels can be that serious wrestler that we all liked in TNA, and show a different side. And they could help Dark Order, but I mean that kind of ruined the match for me, seeing them interfere. But I mean they're just going to keep trying stuff with the Dark Order till it works. I mean that's just all they're going to do.
Yeah, that's all they're gonna do, and they're gonna keep doing stuff, and they're gonna keep trying to do stuff that will try to get them over, because the crowd don't really care too much for them, but they will care about Dark Order when they have someone like Christopher Daniels with them, and they would start to care more when they have more talent that will join them.
Yeah. I think that would be a good, for the Dark Order to have somebody like Christopher Daniels. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's been with Frankie Kazarian for a very long time now, and have him turn on him, that'd be fresh for AEW, and they could start the 2020.
Exactly. Then after this, Britt Baker, she went up against Uo Saki. I seen her at the Fyter Fest. She was with Rio in that triple threat match against Nyla Rose, where I got upset for the fact that Nyla lost. That one I was complaining about, that I did not like how that finished, and I was yelling, this is BS, and people's looking at me like I was crazy, but I just did not care for her to lose that. But I've said it plenty of times, I'm beating dead horse here, Chris. I should just stop. But she went up against Britt Baker.
Right.
I am beating a dead horse, ain't I?
I mean, the women's division is not that great, and Nyla Rose will get that opportunity against Riho next week, I believe.
Yeah.
she will get an opportunity at the championship and hopefully comes out on top and they start something fresh with the women's division. But, yeah, this match was too long, and I actually thought Britt Baker should have won in 5 to 6 minutes instead of it going this long, instead of this woman that no one's ever heard of win. Because Britt Baker looks stunning, and she has a good heel personality, and I think this would be good to push her. And you know, I've said it in the past that she reminded me of a 2008 diva, which is still true the way she works. But her personality is so much better as a heel, and I think you can get over with that and hide the rest of the stuff. And I think they should be pushing her to win matches and come out on top. There were some points in the match where I thought she should have won instead of doing so many near falls in every match. It's crazy to me sometimes, but I mean, this match went too long for me. But
It did.
it just went too long.
It did. It went too long. The match went too long. I agree with you right there. The match did go too long. The finish with the teeth on the rope right there, I think that's the new thing she's going to start doing now, because she got a lot of damn heat for that. She got a lot of damn heat for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even spit out a tooth. That was crazy. That was crazy seeing that right there. Wasn't it?
Yeah, when Brett broke her tooth out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when...
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Trying to remember when you was talking about that. Yeah, I do. I actually do remember seeing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That should have been a squash match for Britt Baker, in my opinion.
It should have. I agree. It should have, though. It went on too long, and then a finish. And Suki, Saki. I don't even know. I suck with these Japanese names. She ended up winning by disqualification. The Elite.
I don't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't either. I seen her once. I think this is the second time I've seen her, as far as I can remember. But the next match had a bit of story to it. You had the Elite with Hangman Page go up against the Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny at ringside. They're building that tension with Hangman Page and the Elite, and they're making it like Hangman just does what he wants when he wants, and people love it. But it's going to cause some tensions where Omega and Page are going to lose those tag team titles. It's coming. It's definitely coming. I don't know what they got planned, but it looks like things ain't going to last too long with the friendship that they have. A lot of in this match, a lot of moments here, and they made the fact that Hangman could do it all on his own with someone holding his beer. But they lost. I mean, they lost against Lucha Bros and the Butcher and the Blade. The Butcher and the Blade, man, do they not look like a strong tag team?
They do. They are. You know, at first, I didn't like how they debuted them. I think they should have debuted them against like a local tag team and had them beat them in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how those teams should be debuted instead of under the ring. But, you know, as I see them every week and with the lovely Bunny, Allie, I really like this team. I like the dynamic of the team, and it's great. Yeah, this match was all over the place. It's hard to keep up with the Young Bucks, man. I do so much stuff. But, yeah, I really enjoy Butcher and the Blade. I see them as a future tag team champions, and I need to get them guys win a lot more wins.
Exactly. They need more wins, and this is a big win for them, especially being in this 8-man tag here, and them taking out a team like the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Page, that are so well known and so liked. It was a big win.
I see Hangman Page leaving the Elite in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're heading that direction. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's going to happen, though, but are people going to hate them? Or are they still going to love them? Or are they going to turn on and hating Kenny Omega and the Bucks?
I think they're going to turn on Page. I don't think they're going to attack Hangman. I think Hangman's going to turn on them.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. That's a pretty good prediction there. That's a pretty good prediction there. One of the two, for me, is going to attack someone, and it's not going to end well. The way I see it, it's not going to end well, Chris. So
no.
We'll have to wait and see, but I do like that prediction right there. I do like that because they're building it. They're building that tension, and it's going to pop, and I think it's going to implode at their upcoming pay-per-view. Kip Sabre with the lovely Penelope Ford going up against Joey Janela. And this has to do what happened last week with Joey sticking his face in the middle of a kiss. And apparently, from what the announcer said, Joey Janela has moved on from his ex Penelope Ford, though, but Kip Sabre and Penelope Ford keeps trying to put their business into his business. So why not? Why not? It sounds like someone's not over Joey Janela, does it not, Chris?
Yeah, I think I was watching NXT during this match. Yeah, I didn't. I'm not into Kip Sabian or Joey Janela. They're just not my cup of tea.
Right.
And I believe during this match, Gargano and Finn Balor was doing their sit-down interview together. So, yeah, I watched that instead. But, yeah, man, I think that Penelope Ford needs to get away from these two and be on her own.
She does.
And, do her own. I'm not really into this angle. I'm really not into Joey Janela all that much. Yeah, I'm just not into these guys.
That's understandable, man. That's understandable. That's totally understandable there. But Kip Sabre, the way he moves in the ring is just great. I like him. I like his in-ring style and how he does. And
yeah, he's a good wrestler.
He is.
Joe Janela's a good wrestler too. I just don't like their personalities.
Nah.
Just not. They're just not connecting with me. They don't connect with me. They connect with other people, but just not me.
Mm-hmm.
Penelope Ford, I like her, but I'm just not into these guys. They just don't. Just the way they do their stuff just doesn't work out for me.
Right.
They all have different tastes, and they just taste bad to me.
Yeah. I say here after a while, they will eventually, because have you noticed how they've eased her onto TV now with this, and they're showing a little bit more of this and the reaction and everything. I like to see what the ratings are around this time when they come out, and each week she comes out, because I believe that kind of boosts it just a little bit with people taking notice. And eventually I like to see her have a match against someone on her own. Insert her in having matches, because they're not really showcasing her talent yet. Because I believe that once they start racking up and wrapping up, let me just put it that way, rephrase it. Once they start wrapping up some stories here and there, not like the top story that's going on, two of the top storylines that's going on right now. Once they start wrapping up some mid-card stories, I believe they will make room, because they will within next year. You're going to see a lot of more talent that's on the roster be on TV more, because I think they wanted to kick this promotion off on TV with a lot of familiar faces that you're familiar with, and throw some new ones in there and stuff and get you kind of familiar with them. But eventually they're going to get some more new faces on television, and maybe some former talent from other promotions that you know of by one name, but they're going to be known as another name in AEW. But pretty much the program this week, you had about 5 matches, and you had 5 good matches, and you had a really good segment to wrap and send the show home. Cody taking lashes from MJF. And the reason behind this is if he takes these 10 lashes, he will have a match with MJF, correct?
Yes. Yeah. This segment was crazy, man. I turned NXT off when the segment came on. Not off, but I just turned it off in my head. Like, it was on my phone, but like I was focused on this.
Right.
And I tell you what, man, this is one of the best segments on wrestling television in recent times. The emotion, Brandy breaking character to come down there for his aid. Arn coming out there showing emotion. Cody's brother, Dustin, coming down, trying to save him. He took some hard shots, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a crazy segment. Cody is the best babyface in wrestling right now on television. And Cody he's great. And MJF, the best heel right now. These two guys are the most interesting in the AEW right now. I mean, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see the Wardlow and Cody steel cage match. And that will be in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's going to be a blast, man. I'm ready to see it.
I am too. I'm definitely gonna looking forward to this here.
First ever AEW steel cage match.
Yeah, they haven't had no steel cage match. They've had plenty of tag team matches here and there, but this is the first steel cage match that they're gonna have, and that's gonna be fantastic. Why not introduce that into a new promotion? But how they do the match and how that match goes about is going to be good, because has anyone seen? I've not seen Wardlow wrestle before. I don't know.
No.
Have you seen him? Do you know anything prior to the guy before AEW? Do you know anything about this guy?
No, I don't. I don't, man. I'm sure if you Wikipedia him, you'll probably find something, but I never did look him up. He looks new to me. That's my prediction. That's why no one's ever heard of him. And, these wrestling fans know a lot of these guys before they make it there, and a lot of people don't know who he is, so I'll have to look more into that.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to look more into that, who this guy is, because this guy looks mean, and I like to see what he does in a steel cage match. Ain't that a hell of a way to break you into a promotion there?
Yeah.
Your first match is gonna be with someone with the name of Cody and the caliber behind the name Cody Rhodes. And the legacy behind that. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to AEW. All right. Your debut match is going to be in 2-3 months, and it's going to be against an icon, a legend or an icon or a person with wrestling royalty in his blood and with his name. And it's going to be a steel cage. So you could sign the dotted line here for a contract.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be fun.
It is. It's like this, Chris. You get ready to sign a contract with a. We'll just throw this out there. Say just fictionally. You get thrown a contract your way from WCW. This is just fictional. Okay. All right. Okay, here's contract. Okay, you're gonna debut, but you're gonna debut on this date, and you're gonna be in a bunkhouse bar brawl match against Big Bad Vader. What do you say, man? What do you say? Are you there? No?
Sorry, man.
You hit the mute. You muted me again. You muted me again, man. Why?
I didn't mean to.
I know. I'm just messing with you. But what would you say to that? What would you say to that? Your WCW gives you a contract. It says, here you go. You're going to debut on this day, and this is the match. You're going to have a bunkhouse bar brawl against Big Bad Vader. What do you say to that?
Yeah. That would be... I don't know if I'd do that one. Vader was pretty crazy in the ring.
Yeah.
Really good. I don't know if I can handle Vader.
Yeah, that's it's like, okay, steel cage match debut against, okay, all right, I'll sign. Okay, I'm gonna sign it. That's all you can do. And just sign it, smile, and say whatever you like. But MJF and Cody, that's gonna be interesting. He won in the match. Arn Anderson came down. Dustin came down. And even, like you said, Brandy even came down. Even the Bucks were out there. A lot of people did not want him to do this. But he needs this because he could have been world champion. But it's all thanks to MJF for not letting that happen. So he has to do something about it. And he's going to have this match. And he's going to get retribution. That's all he wants, retribution. Do you blame the guy for wanting that?
Oh, no. No, he needs to get back at MJF, and those guys put on a hell of a show at Revolution. It's going to be great. I'm ready to see it.
I am.
And a steel cage match.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's definitely going to be great. I wonder if they're going to make this the main event, or are they going to have the AEW. I have a feeling they'll probably put this second to last. What do you think?
I think Cody and MJF will close it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Cody and MJF will be the main event.
Okay.
It's the best right now, and I think Chris Jericho, I would be happy if he was the main event because he is the main event. But I just have a feeling that Cody and MJF will be the last match.
Okay. I call it second. I call it second to the last match. Because this storyline and this saga that's going on between Cody and MJF is right there next to the Moxley Jericho thing. You got two great top stories going on with top talent in the company there. What else could you ask for? Really nothing. There's nothing else you can really ask for with these two top stories in AEW right there. This will make you want to watch and become a wrestling fan again. Or actually, as Jericho would say, again. That's my...
Yes, again.
Again. You will ever be a fan of AEW again. Again. I just love how he does that. It's just great. So there's AEW. There's the review for AEW this week on this Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose, baby. 1 to 5. Give me a rating. 1 to 5 before we move on to NXT. Discuss that. AEW this week on a scale 1 to 5. Let me hear it.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Really enjoyed the show, man. That was a great episode. Strong main event.
I'm going to have to give it... Damn. I'm going to have to give it a 4. And I just got to say, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the two top storylines, as I just mentioned. And my favorite match out of the top 5 matches they showed on the program would have to be the Kip Saber and Joey Janela match. I like Kip Saber. I say no more. I'll move on now. NXT. Open up the program. We saw highlights of everything that happened last week, which was great and everything. And plus, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic champions, the Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, came to ringside in a golf cart with that damn trophy. I love how serious Pete can be, but I like the dry humor he has. And while they're celebrating, they're going to go after NXT TakeOver Portland. They're going after Undisputed Era. They're going after the Undisputed Era's NXT Tag Team Championships. And the celebration was cut short with the Undisputed Era coming out and words going back and forth. And people trying to figure out how many fish can Bobby Fish fry fish? How many fish can he fish? Can he fry fish? Something like that. I loved it. I loved it. And just Pete Dunne's dry, serious humor, but it's funny at the same time. Just great. Great odd couple. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Odd couple tag teams, and they definitely are, man. You got Pete Dunne. He's ready to rip your arms off. And Matt Riddle's sitting there waiting to go surfing with you. I don't know which one I would hang out with. But what'd you think about that opening segment right there with the Broserweights and then Undisputed Era?
I was looking at split screen, so but from what I saw from the opening segment, yeah, man, the Broserweights, I really enjoy them as a tag team. I love the Odd Couple. I think they'll be tag team champions someday. I think they need to keep these guys together. they're going to go against the Undisputed Era, and hopefully they become tag team champions.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. It'd be nice, because why not? Why not make these guys tag team champions after everything they're doing? The first opening match, Angel Garza going up against Isaiah Swerve Scott. They showed highlights what happened this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw. We know Andrade, he is out because of failing a wellness test. He violated it, and he's gone for 30 days. Instead of keeping Selena Vega off TV with him, they decided to keep her on TV, but let's put Angel Garza with...
Yeah, Angel Garza.
Garza. Okay, I said it right the first time. They put him with her, and basically carrying on that Andrade role and feuding with Humberto, his cousin.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a point here about this here in a minute, though. But this match here, it was pretty damn good. Angel is fantastic. I can see why he's in 205 Live in NXT, and him being a former cruiserweight champion, and him coming to Monday Night Raw and what he did there. But I do have a problem with what they're doing. But Isaiah Swerve Scott, have you heard anything about him? Because I've not really heard too much about this man.
No, and I was in and out of this match as well. But, I mean, yeah, these two guys had great chemistry in the match. Angel Garza is a good heel, and then while they stuck him with Selena Vega, it's going to be fun to see that duo do something. And I'm ready to see that. And this could, when Andrade comes back, this could split up Andrade and Selena Vega, and having Andrade and Angel Garza feud. As Angel Garza is going to be a star, he's going to be a star, a big star in the Latino fan base, the U.S. fan base, and all of it, the whole world. I'm ready to see that. And, Humberto Carrillo, same way, good young talent, going to be great. And, I don't see a lot of Isaiah Swerve Scott stuff, but, he did really good in this match, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. He did some pretty good spots though, but the problem what I have with is Angel's cheered and adored in NXT. On Raw, he's hated after what he did. They're splitting the persona. He's this character on this show, but when he's on this show, he's another character with the same name. That's the problem I have right there. That's the problem I have. If you're going to make him into one character on one show, that should be transitioned over to the other. The way they made him on Raw, with him coming back to NXT this week, they should have made him like that again and not have the crowd cheer for him and then him cutting a promo at the end and saying, I'm going to get the NXT championship back, NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and everyone's like, yeah. It's like, but look what he did to Rey Mysterio on Raw. He dropped his head on fucking concrete. You forgot about that real quick, didn't you? That's the only problem I have, Chris. Do you see?
Well,
right?
The crowd pretty much likes this guy more than Isaiah Swerve Scott, though. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to cheer for Scott when you got Garza in there. And Garza's been on a roll here lately, and I'm ready to see what he does in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that just got me about this. Everyone just within a minute forgot about him getting dropping Rey Mysterio on the concrete, and then he comes back to NXT. It's like, oh, we love you, Angel. And then I guess NXT crowd don't watch Raw. I mean, at some points I don't blame them, but
it is. It's a different crowd. Those NXT crowds pretty much are into every segment, every match. When people go to Raw, it's kind of dead at times. It's not the same intensity and volume as an NXT show.
Mm-hmm.
Such a smaller building, so it's louder.
Yeah.
When you got a lot of people in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you right there. Yeah, it's a much different crowd there. Much different crowd there. David C. Russell says hello, Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. Hello, David.
Hello, bud.
Glad you can join us, and thank you for sharing the Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show with Everett Lee and Chris Rose. Thank you for sharing that, David. Appreciate the love and support, and thank you. But yeah, Chris, that's the only thing that gets me is the two different crowds, and you do pull up a good point there. You definitely do pull up a good point. And yeah, I liked what he does, and yeah, he's going to be a top performer. Definitely going to be a top performer. And we're sorry you're sick, David. I know it sucks. I know. You know, being sick, yeah, it sucks. It does. It definitely does suck to be sick. I know. But yeah, the next match I liked because you had Dijakovic going up against Killian Dane. We haven't really seen Killian Dane much here lately, have we not?
Not really, but Killian Dane and Dominic Dijakovic put on a really good match. I love the ending. He hit the feast your eyes on the ropes. Man, some stuff though, like the moonsault off the top rope. I don't know why a guy that big needs to do that. It is athletic, but big guys get hurt different than guys my size, and that's just crazy that he does that. But it was a good match, man.
Yeah,
it was. I really enjoyed it. And Dominic Dijakovic is one of my favorites in NXT, and glad he got the win. And he's going to challenge for the North American title in Portland now against Keith Lee, and that's going to be one hell of a match.
Mm-hmm. That is going to be one hell of a match because these guys had history already. And right before War Games back in November, they started building that story, and then they put everything aside with the invasion thing and the War Games, and they've kind of let it kind of fizzle in the background right now. But now they're going to be bringing that back out, which I think is good because people that's been following this in NXT is going to say like, oh yeah, they're going to continue this because which guy is better? And this is going to be one hell of a match seeing this right here. They're going to pull out all the stops for this match. I'd have to say NXT TakeOver Portland, you're going to looking at one of the matches of the night. One of the matches of the night right here. And you don't even know it yet. You don't even know it. The mid-card match of the night. I hate to say that. NXT, I said it to someone over this weekend, Chris. I said, I have to not look at It's really hard for me to quit looking at NXT as a developmental brand now, because they are officially a third brand. But I'm still looking at them as a developmental brand, and I shouldn't do it. But
I'm starting to break out of that just here recently, because they have such good talent there who is getting over, and they're starting to mingle with the main roster, quote unquote main roster, because I think NXT is part of that now. I think they're in that mold with Raw and SmackDown.
yes,
They got the talent, and Charlotte won the Rumble and will go for the NXT Championship. I mean, everybody knows that it's going to happen. There's going to be a first-time ever thing. Vince McMahon loves first-time ever stuff. I know he don't do NXT, but, I mean, it's a first-time ever thing for NXT.
yeah,
To have a winner of the Rumble challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be fun. And another bold prediction that could happen, I think at WrestleMania will be Bianca Belair, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's do another triple threat. Let's do another triple threat. I know. Vince is sitting there and he's like looking, and he hollers for his right man guy there, the Silver Beaver, Kevin Dunn. Hey, Kevin, let's put Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, and let's add that one girl with the long ponytail. I like that. I like how she whips it. What do you think? I like that, Vince. Let's do that. There you go. There's WrestleMania match right there.
No, that's probably what yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, Bianca Belair has good chemistry with both women. Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair had good chemistry from what we saw of them in the Rumble. So can't wait to see what they do in the near future together. But if we just get Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, I'd be happy with that as well.
Oh God, yeah. I'm definitely gonna be happy with that. Yeah, she came back. She came back, and she has not stepped in NXT ring in, God, how long was it? Since 2016, I believe it was 2016 when she came up to the main roster at the time.
Yeah, it's 2015.
2015, yeah, 2015. She came up into the main roster. She spent 2 years in NXT, then comes up to the main roster, and look what the hell she's been doing then since 2015. 5
Came
years.
over Raw after WrestleMania that year, WrestleMania 31.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. Yeah, she came back, and then I liked how the interaction with her and Bianca Belair. I thought that was great. It was kind of like almost a little rub to bring more of a notice to Bianca. And then Rhea comes out, and of course they had words. Bianca's in the background, and then I liked how Ripley looked at Bianca and said, "We are NXT," and they power bombed her through the damn mat, which is great. I love that. I love that whole segment there. But yeah, Flair and Rhea, they're gonna have their match at WrestleMania. They're definitely, because if you really do think about it, how many times has Becky and Charlotte wrestled? How many times has Bayley and Charlotte wrestled? Right?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, those women, back in 2015 started a revolution, and following WrestleMania from WrestleMania 31 to WrestleMania 32, Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha was in a big-time main event caliber match for the women's championship. I mean, that's pretty insane. And Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha, right? Is that what I said?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, that's just that was a good match that year. That was at that time, that was one of the best women's matches in recent past. It was the WrestleMania 32 women's match.
I agree. It
But,
it was.
I'm ready to see Rhea Ripley and Charlotte go at it. It's going to be a good match.
A lot of people are. A lot of people are waiting for that, and it's going to happen. It is. If they pull a 180, and why the hell did you tease something up that wasn't going to happen? Come on now. I believe Charlotte. Did Charlotte show up on this past SmackDown? I miss Friday Night SmackDown, honestly. I missed it.
I did. Yeah, I didn't watch it as well.
Yeah. So maybe she did, or is she going to do it this Friday? Who knows? But kind of throw you off there. It's like she's looking more towards Bailey. So we'll see. Someone who has, well, let me not get to that yet. Someone making an appearance again. Let's talk about Finn Balor and Johnny face-off, man. They had that Johnny Gargano face-off they had right there. And they pretty much hyped it up there. In a way, I'm looking forward to seeing this match, but then in some ways, I'm not really looking forward to seeing them at TakeOver Portland. I don't know what it is. I'm happy that they're doing something with Finn Balor. He's doing something different. Johnny Gargano is just fantastic in ring. What he does, he can hold his own. But I don't know. There's something missing from this. Do you feel? You know what I'm talking about, right, Chris? It's like something is there, but it's just missing for this match.
I think a championship involved in the match would be good between these two, where Johnny was taken out by Finn Balor in Finn Balor's debut, put him on the shelf for a while, and then returns and attacks Balor. And they had a very good sit-down interview.
Yeah.
Finn Balor sold it really, really well, and I loved both men delivery. A lot of sit-down interviews aren't that great, but these guys pulled it off. I really enjoyed this segment. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. They went back and forth there, and I loved the dynamics between both of them, talking about who basically what they want to do to each other, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great to see that though. But yeah, I feel like it's missing something.
Yeah, Johnny talking about he wants the Prince. He wants the real Finn Balor. He don't want the man that was losing to Bobby Lashley 100 times on Raw. It was really good. It was really good stuff, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love that reference there. It's like, I don't want you. I want the. And then when he kind of got a response back, he's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. That's what I want. I'm looking for a guy that's looking for a fight."
Yeah.
Yep. Mercedes Martinez. She has not been around since the Mae Young Classic. And she was used a little bit here and there, I guess, in NXT. But you didn't see nothing from her after the Mae Young Classic. Apparently, she went to go... What's that?
He was in the Rumble for a little bit this year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But prior to all this, before seeing her on TV and the Rumble, back a few months ago, you really, I mean, even after the Mae Young Classic, this last year, I believe it was, the second Mae Young Classic, you didn't really hear or see much about her. Because apparently she was over at AEW, and they weren't really doing too much with her. So I guess NXT Triple H is like, hell, I see you're not with them. I can use you. So he got her to come back to WWE, and work at NXT there, which I think is great. But the funny thing about this was I read a story about her leaving AEW and coming back to WWE from comicbook.com. And comicbook.com, I used to read a lot of stuff from them with comic news and everything because that's where I used to go to get my information. However, here in the last few years, they've started to become the TMZ of the geekdom world. And they're talking about wrestling. And the way they put the article was, WWE just stole a really well-known talent, a big-name, like a talent from AEW. They stole this talent. And you're like, oh, cool. And you click on it. You click on the article. And when you click on the article, it's basically saying that it didn't work out for an AEW, so she went to WWE. That's it. Is clickbait. They're notorious for clickbait articles, and they base their stories off of one or two tweets in Twitter on a negative note, and then they make a whole article about two negative tweets, and they made this whole article about this, and a lot of people are laughing and joking, like, she left on her own. They didn't just go and pick her up. She left and went, and WWE contacted her and said, hey, you want to come, work for us? There you go. There you go. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, but she went up against Casey Canzara. She is the one, if you remember, Chris, she was like the, what is it? What the hell is that show?
She won the Ninja.
Yes. Ninja Warrior. How many times she won that thing?
I'm not sure, man. I just know that's how she got in WWE, was from that TV show.
Yeah.
I never did watch it.
You never seen American Ninja Warrior?
No, I don't watch television. I just watch wrestling and Netflix, basically, and whenever wrestling comes on TV and sports. I don't watch a lot of TV shows or anything. But yeah, I like Casey Catanzaro. She was in the Rumble last year and had a crazy spot. It was insane.
Yeah.
I can't, words, but if you go back and look that up, type in her name on YouTube, Rumble, you'll see it. It was like a Kofi Kingston or Naomi spot. You're not, they get knocked out of the ring, but somehow make it back in. It was crazy. But yeah, this match, Mercedes Martinez, been in the wrestling business a long time. Got the victory. We'll see what happens in the near future with this, but I think something else was on AEW, but I was doing the split screen like I've been saying, and I didn't get a lot of this match from what I saw of it. I thought both women did well for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The women's division in NXT is way better than AEW.
Of course. I agree with you right there. It's much better. It's so much better than AEW. But AEW, you give them time, and they will find their snitch into what they could do, how to make and build a women's division. It's just going to take up some time there. It will. But
it will. Yeah.
Casey, she is small, man. You seen how see how big she is compared to Mercedes? She's little. She is little though, but she pulled out some pretty cool stuff, man. She did her Karana, and she did some flips and drop toe hold. I was like, now this is pretty cool. And her coming off the ropes and just she held her own, but it wasn't enough because Mercedes won. Mercedes beat her 1-2-3, but she had a good match. She had a good match against a 19-year veteran. Tyler Breeze. I'm glad they're doing something with him. They debuted him on 205 a month ago, and he's been popping up here and there on 205 Live. Him, NXT, much more better, and I like what they're doing with him. And then we saw on NXT, not the NXT UK, people were probably like, thought they were watching NXT UK because Jordan Devlin was on TV, but no, he was on regular NXT, and he had a match against Tyler Breeze there, the newly NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Went up against Tyler Breeze, and this guy, I hope they keep him around because I like Rhea and what they've done with Rhea, but Devlin, one thing about him that a lot of people don't know is that Finn Balor trained Devlin.
Yeah.
So that's why he's...
Jordan Devlin debuted in the UK tournament when they first did it in 2016.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said to everyone that Finn Balor trained him.
He trained a lot of talent.
Yeah, Finn Balor he's trained numerous talent. This match, however, Tyler Breeze and Jordan Devlin, I caught some of it. I was watching NXT at the time. But, they're finally doing something with Tyler Breeze, and I'm glad that they're finally doing something with him. Hopefully bringing back his old character that was in NXT that got him almost to the next level. They changed Tyler Breeze quite a bit, but hopefully they get him back on track. And Jordan Devlin he's a good worker, man. I mean, he has a lot of good stuff in the ring, and I'm ready to see what he does in the near future as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he's doing. I mean, he is a Cruiserweight champion. He is a Cruiserweight champion, and I hope he sticks around for a while. I do. I hope they keep him around. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in the Bianca Belair segment, which we talked about. That happened right after this. And then, of course, back earlier in the show, you had Tommaso feuding with the Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era was looking for him, and he went after the Undisputed Era, and they went after him, and then Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne come in, interfere, and William Regal's like, "You guys want to fight? All right, the three of you versus the three of them," and just went at it. And that set up for the main event. You had Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, and Pete Dunne going up against the Undisputed Era, which was Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, it was Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole. You had the three champs, three people holding gold in that faction. Well, that faction holds all the damn gold anyway, except the North America Championship, which Keith Lee won. Yay. So this went all over the place. This was not a match. It was a brawl, and it ended up getting out of hand when Roderick Strong came in and interfered. And what they did to Tommaso with the paint on his back and stuff. What did you think about that?
Yeah, this whole thing was pure chaos, man. And I was in and out because this was the main event of NXT, and on AEW they had MJF and Cody Rhodes thing that I was more invested in than this.
Yes.
But, I mean, I did watch some of the match that I could, but I was also watching AEW because I wanted to see that. But, crazy, man. They, I mean, it was a brawl. Both teams was doing really good. But, yeah. The one thing that sticks out to me the most is after the match. I spray painted the X. And on Ciampa, and the lights go out. Velveteen Dream returns.
Yeah,
and
man.
This is a big for NXT right now. This is big for the brand to have him back. I'm glad to see him back. Brawling, trying not to get one up by the Undisputed Era, and he finally rips off his tights, and it has Arena Shafir, Roddy Strong's wife, on his tights. It's crazy, man. I'm ready to see what happens with the Undisputed Era, the Broserweights, Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream, Keith Lee. This whole brand is wrestling, and it's great. And I'm ready to see what happens.
Yeah, I am too. I can't wait to see what happens right here. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to this here. Velveteen Dream, man, I freaked out. I was like, are you kidding me? He's back. He returned back quicker than later. Sooner than later. I'm glad to see him back. And, yeah, he's going to... Everyone has that for damn Undisputed Era, man. Then no one likes him. I mean, the Broserweights don't like him. Who else don't like him? Tommaso Ciampa don't like him. And now you have Velveteen Dream. He don't like him because he lost his North American Championship because of them. So therefore, you got a lot of people who hate this damn team, who hates the damn Undisputed Era. They freaking hate them, man. But I think it's funny. I do. I think it's funny that you have these guys hating on the Undisputed Era because look what they've done. Look what they've done with NXT, and look what they've done in NXT so far. So, yeah, they're the most hated faction by the talent in NXT. It's just nuts. It's just nuts.
Well, I'm happy because the Undisputed Era is the hottest faction in NXT, and they're taking that brand to new heights and different places.
Exactly. That's what they're doing. That is what they're doing, and they're going to be going different places and different heights. Yeah, they definitely are. I agree with you right there. I definitely agree with you right there on that. Now, NXT this week, on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate this week's NXT show?
I'll have to give it a 4. Because there was a lot that I went in and out on during the show, but I mean, overall, a great wrestling show. I think the Cody Rhodes segment in AEW beat NXT in my book. But as far as wrestling goes, I enjoyed NXT, man. I enjoyed it a lot better than AEW.
Okay. I agree with you right there. I definitely agree with you right there. It's just I lean more towards AEW this week because of the stories and stuff. NXT, as always, Chris, they have the solid wrestling show. NXT has the solid wrestling show of each week, and AEW right now is what a lot of people's tuning into because they're a new kid on the block. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed both shows this week, and I'll have to wait and see what happens next week.
Yeah, I'm ready to see what happens next week with an eye for an eye match in AEW. AEW Women's Championship. Hopefully, Nyla Rose retains. I don't know what's going to happen on NXT next week off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's going to be great. We'll cover it next week.
Yeah. We'll definitely be covering it next week and talking about it as always. That's what we're going to be doing, baby. as we do here on the Everett Lee Show Slammin' Thursday edition with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose. And I guess before we jump into talking about this day in wrestling history, I want to give a shout out and mention about the sponsors and supporters of Podcast City Network. You can follow more shows Podcast City Network over on podcastcity.net, and be sure to hit them up over on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and send them a tweet over on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. And a lot more to come here, ladies and gentlemen, a lot more to come. So be sure to stick around, because we're going to take a quick one, and we will be right back with more of the Everett Lee Show Slammin' Thursday edition right here on twitch.tv /podcast City Network, and on facebook.com/the Everett Lee. So be sure to stay tuned. We will be right back right after this.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
The following support and sponsor Podcast City Network.
City Limits Taproom, sports bar in DeLand, Florida, has brew on tap, serves food. The grilled cheese is excellent. For upcoming events, check out City Limits Taproom on Facebook.com/City Limits Taproom. 3 Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography, and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. Visit Facebook.com/3 Count Design for more.
All supporters and sponsors are brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
For more of The Everett Lee Show on social media, follow and like The Everett Lee Show on Facebook, The Everett Lee Show, Twitter, @the Everett_Lee, Instagram, Everett Lee Show. Audio versions of this podcast and previously released podcast can be found on everettleeshow.podbean.com. Stitcher Radio, The Everett Lee Show, give a rating and comment. Apple Podcast, The Everett Lee Show, give a rating and comment. YouTube, The Everett Lee Show, subscribe to the channel. The Everett Lee Show, your shot of entertainment to the head.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows on all of our great social media outlets. PodcastCity.net.
Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter @PodcastCityNet.
Only on Podcast City Network.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
All right. We are back for the Everett Lee Show Slammin' Thursday edition with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose, baby. And as always, you can follow more network shows over on the network on podcastcity.net and follow them on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and hit them up on Twitter at PodcastCityNet. And subscribe to Podcast City Network YouTube channel and follow right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. Chris, a pretty couple interesting things that I pulled out for this day in wrestling history that you probably think would be pretty interesting. I don't know if you did, but I thought that was pretty interesting, so I decided to take a look at them. Like my dog there you heard in the background, he agrees too. Yep. But yeah, this is pretty interesting right here, what I pulled out and did some research and looked at here for this day in wrestling history. There was quite a bit that happened on this day in wrestling history. But Chris, what did you think I pulled out for this day in wrestling history? Was it interesting enough for you?
It was very random, and I don't even know if I remember the show, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you got Mil Moscos and Cactus Jack going at it. Kevin Sullivan, Norman the Lunatic, Falls Count Anywhere. Mean Mark and Dan Spivey, the Skyscrapers, and the Road Warriors, man. I remember hearing about that match. Mean Mark, The Undertaker.
Yeah, before The Undertaker.
He was talking about working the Road Warriors and how, good they were. And, I mean, I'm sure that would have been a pretty decent, match for that time. And
yeah.
You got the Steiner brothers defeated Doom. Two solid tag teams in that era. Really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's this is pretty interesting because this is Clash of Champions 10 Texas Shootout. You can watch it on WWE Network, and it was from the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi, Texas. Oh yeah, speaking of Texas, don't forget. Well, no, that's his real name. Yet Steve Williams, he defeated the Samoan Savage, though. But the main event, which was interesting, would go ahead and read that off right there about the main event, because this was pretty good here.
Yeah, the Four Horsemen: R. Anderson, Ole, and Rick defeated Gary Hart, Buzz Sawyer, and the Dragon Master and the Great Muta. I mean, I don't remember this match at all, but I'm sure it was great. I don't remember a lot of this stuff, but Sting, he was supposed to be a part of the match, but was kicked out of the Horsemen. I saw that earlier on Facebook, so that does come to my mind. I remember Sting getting kicked out, and, he climbed into the cage, he got some revenge, but he injured his knee during the brawl. I'm sure that would have been a crazy match. I'll go back and watch it on the network.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to go back and watch the Skyscrapers versus the Road Warriors, because if you watch the Broken Skull session, the first one that Steve Austin did with The Undertaker, he talked about having matches with as Mean Mark and Dan Spivey going up against the Road Warriors. I definitely like check this one out. And the four horsemen thing, Sting getting kicked out and replaced by Ole Anderson and him coming back. And out of all this, it was in a steel cage. And him coming back in there, but yeah, he injured himself in the process. This looks like something really interesting that I'd like. I want to go back and watch just because of this here. I definitely like to see this here. I thought it was interesting, especially the story that was going on at that time right there. I thought it was really neat, so I decided to pull that one out and mention that on this day in wrestling history. And of course, in Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler defeated Sid Vicious to win the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship for the 20th time. 20 times, man.
Yep.
God dang. That's crazy. That's crazy. That definitely is crazy. And I thought those are two interesting things right there that I pulled out there to look at. I said, these two right here, this is really good, especially like the Four Horsemen thing. Because you know how Sting had drama with the Four Horsemen on and off, especially with Ric Flair. You know that feud right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had some great matches there.
They did, man. Great American Bash. They've had some great matches. I mean, right off the top of my head, I can't think of one besides the Great American Bash. I mean, that was a really good match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any on top of my head too though, but what just dawned on me, we were earlier talking about AEW, talking about the steel cage match that's going to be happening, and this right here in this day in wrestling history, talking about steel cage match. Let's briefly talk about our favorite steel cage matches. You know, any that comes off the top of your head that when you think of steel cage match, that's something that sticks out. That a really good steel cage match. I can throw some out there.
And there's been a lot. I have to think for a minute here. Man, this is it's a crazy one. Undertaker, Mankind. Man, that's a hell of a sell, but
yeah.
There's been a lot of great steel cage matches, and Brett and Owen.
Yeah.
A Raw in 2001 that comes to mind is Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. It's on the network. It's on a Monday Night Raw. Go watch this match. It was very, very great. WrestleMania, Undertaker, Triple H.
Okay.
Good ones. Owen Hart and Bret Hart was at SummerSlam, that I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Man, there's just so many. That one that comes to mind is on a Raw. It was Jericho and CM Punk back in 2008. I like that steel cage match. Edge and Chris Jericho had one on SmackDown in 2002. That was really good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite matches personally is a steel cage match.
Yeah. One of my favorite steel cage matches would have to be WrestleMania 2, King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan. That steel cage match.
That's a good one as well.
Mm-hmm. That comes to mind right there. And I'd have to say, believe it or not, a lot of people that were there at this event seen it. Oh, actually, the people that were at this event seen it along with me, but it was never televised on TV. Talking about 2002, when I lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, and went to go see a Raw house show, and the main event was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Ric Flair in a steel cage match. I remember that like it was yesterday. They used that cage. They bounced off that cage and stuff. Austin busted Flair open at the top of the cage. And Arn Anderson came in and injected himself, and all he got was 2 middle fingers in the face and a Stone Cold Stunner. And Steve ended up winning that match. That was a good one, man. That was a freaking hellacious steel cage match. I loved it. I definitely loved it. It was great. But yeah, when I think about steel cage matches, the Hulk Hogan King Kong Bundy WrestleMania 2 comes to mind, and the house show steel cage match I got to see come to mind there. Here's another good steel cage match. What about when you had Daniel Bryan when he was with Bray Wyatt back in when he basically broke away from the Wyatt family that night in the steel cage, and he tore off the Wyatt family outfit and kicked Bray Wyatt's butt in the steel cage there? What about that?
Yeah, that's also a really good one. I don't really remember a lot from the match per se, but yeah, and that was around 2014 when he was faking to be in the Wyatt family and eventually turned on Bray Wyatt. So I don't know the match honestly per se, but yeah, I mean these guys are feuding today, and sure it was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely great. It definitely was great. Without that whole angle there, Chris, I thought was great for the fact that he wanted to have Wyatt to himself. And what's one way to have Wyatt to yourself? In a steel cage where he didn't have Harper or Rowan to help Wyatt. He had him all to himself, locked in a cage. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Would you agree?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's all good stuff. Bray Wyatt back at that time was hot as ever in 2014.
Yeah. Yeah, he was hot. He was on top of his game.
He was singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's doing a lot of crazy stuff with the Wyatt family. But, the Wyatt family thing just got out of touch, and they reinvented all three guys. Luke Harper's gone. Eric Rowan's got something hid in his little whatever it is.
Yeah.
Eric Rowan's squashing local out on Raw, and Bray Wyatt's the Fiend. And it's crazy, the difference in 2014.
Yep.
Luke Harper, more likely AEW bound or New Japan. That's my prediction.
Yeah. More he trademarked his old indie name, Brody Lee. I look forward, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about AEW. I believe he's going to be one of the guys that's going to show up because he can compete now. His clause is over with where he can't compete after leaving WWE. His no compete clause is done. So he'll show up. I believe he'll show up at the AEW pay-per-view in some shape or form, helping someone out or just coming in there, taking out someone and just going on like that. I believe that's what's going to happen. That's one of my predictions there. But, yeah, we got the at the end of this month, we got the Saudi show. Man, that came early. This has come early. Usually during the middle of summer, ain't it?
Yeah, it's usually not during this time. I was looking for it, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but the only match I know of is Ricochet and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar usually has with smaller guys, and Ricochet will flip-flop and fly for him, and Lesnar will be the powerhouse, so I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. It's... I want to make a prediction right now since you brought it up. You brought up the Ricochet-Brock Lesnar match. Brock is going to squash him quicker than Kofi Kingston, or just about it. I hate to say that. That's what's going to happen. He's going to squash the guy, and he's basically he's going to hold out. It's going to be one of those title defenses, and it's nothing like, oh, do you really think he can beat him? Nah. He's going to WrestleMania with the title, and he's doing this, and he's taking a month off. He may come back here and there a couple times in March and advertise and promote and kind of push there for Mania, and then when Mania happens, he'll have his match. I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe that's what's going to happen. And I'm probably wrong.
I don't know if it'll be a squash, but it will be a quick one. And I'm ready to see it.
I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing it and to seeing what happens with it. I mean, this is the only match they mentioned so far. More matches. You figure they would start advertising and building more matches there and stuff. I know you ain't going to see Edge around because he's at home. He's out. He'll probably be gone for about a month, and then he'll expectedly show up right when it gets close to Mania and start promoting that.
It's rumored that Christian could come back and fill in for Edge while he is out.
That'd be something. Captain Charisma coming back in. I mean, that's his best friend, right? I mean, why not? Why not come back in defense?
Christian and Edge have history, but Christian and Randy Orton do as well.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely what makes it really interesting right there. Just the history between all three of these guys here, because they've wrestled each other, they've been up the road with each other, they even tagged with each other. They were on the same side with each other against opposite opponents on both. Do you remember? I think it was Money in the Bank when Orton got disqualified. And it was for the world title, and he lost it, and Christian got it. And he flipped out at the end of the match and put Christian through the freaking table with the RKO twice.
Yeah, that was that year, man. That was one of the best feuds in wrestling. Was Orton and Christian.
Yeah, that was
outside a match at SummerSlam after Money in the Bank, and they've had some good matches from there on and in the past. Really good stuff with Christian and Orton. And I really hope the rumors are true about Christian coming back and being part of the Edge and Orton feud for WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
And also, I heard that Sting and The Undertaker is in the works for WrestleMania. Which we hear it all the time, but
yeah,
it seems to be a little serious this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sting cleared by a doctor to wrestle again.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, we're going to finally get to see that match. The dream match everyone's been talking about. If that happens, Chris, that Taker and Sting have a match at this year's WrestleMania, you know that's going to steal the show. That's going to bury everything else.
I wouldn't go as far as say bury it, because I think honestly some of the fans don't want to see it because of the age and the year.
Yeah.
I think that match could have been great in like 2001, 2002.
Okay.
Even I'll go as far as say 2008, when Undertaker and Sting could still go and have 40-minute matches.
Yeah.
But now, age has caught up to them, injuries, and just the business and in general. I'd like to see. I'm gonna mark out, man, during this match because it's been a dream match for me for a long time. But I honestly would like to see Undertaker work with the younger guy and Sting work with the younger guy to help them. But
yeah.
I mean, man, I'm a fan. I do it. I watch it. And I will support these two gentlemen on their match, and I will love every minute of it. A lot of people didn't like Sting and Triple H. I loved every minute of it, even though Sting didn't win. They had the second best match on that pay-per-view, WrestleMania 31. First being Lesnar, Roman Reigns. That was their only good match together. But Sting and Triple H, that was great. And I think Sting and Undertaker will be great too. I mean, we ain't gonna see like the guys from the past, but I mean, you'll get your money's worth. Trust me.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be great. Ready to
Yeah. Definitely. You're definitely gonna get your money's worth out of this here. I'm looking forward to Drew McIntyre winning his first WWE Championship up against Brock Lesnar. Hopefully they don't drag this out and they let him defeat the Beast at Mania, and they don't drag this out. That's the only thing I'm worried about and concerned about there.
Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre is gonna win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. I see it. Hopefully it happens. That's a personal opinion. I want to see Drew McIntyre, after winning the Rumble, main eventing WrestleMania, beating the Beast. That would be a great start to 2020, in my opinion.
It would be. It would be a great start. It definitely would be a great start there to start off 2020 right there with him being WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. That would be great. It'd be interesting now, the night after Mania on Raw, who's going to step up to the plate and come after the champ? Who's going to be that first challenger? Who's going to be that first run? And who's going to be that first victim on his first time offense? Seth Rollins. I can believe that. I can believe that right there, the way they've been doing stuff. I don't like the Messiah thing. I don't like it because when I was watching a few weeks ago, or when he started talking about it, the announce team on Raw pushed it down your throat like you didn't know. It's like the Monday Night Messiah, the Monday Night Messiah, the Messiah, the Messiah, the Messiah. It's like, I think after the fifth time I get it, but I've become real quick not a big too much of a fan of it. I leave you speechless.
I'm just
thinking.
I mean, yeah.
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
just thinking about it.
Drew McIntyre take off to new heights in 2020. And I think his next challenger could be Rollins or Lashley. Lashley's another guy because I think they're going to do away with the Lashley Rusev Line storyline. I think that's what they're going to go now, is split that up. Yeah, man, I'm ready to see. I mean, I kind of like the Seth Rollins thing with the AOP. I dig it, man. But here's another prediction I have for WrestleMania, and I hope it happens. I think it's going to be Kevin Owens and CM Punk taking on AOP and Rollins.
Good prediction. Very, very good prediction right there. I like that.
Samoa Joe out, which I forgot about that. If CM Punk returns, Rollins won't go for the championship. So I would like to see Bobby Lashley, because I forgot to tell you that on the show that I think CM Punk will be Kevin Owens' partner against the AOP and Rollins at Mania. I think that's going to happen. I think he's going to replace Samoa Joe, who's hurt again. And I think it's a storyline. I think it's by design to have Punk come back in a match with a bunch of people that can help him. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
It's just not. And, yeah, having Lashley and McIntyre go at it for the WWE Championship would be fun.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be fun. It definitely is. I'm definitely looking forward to it there. Well, Chris, I think it's just about that time to send it home. And before we do send it home, there's a couple things I do want to announce. Want to announce on Tuesday night, February 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live right here on twitch.tv/the Podcast Scene Network and over on Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. There you go. The master of wrestling ring music, Hurricane JJ McGuire, will be back on the podcast. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. We're going to change it up. You're just going to have to come in, tune in, and watch and see what we'll be discussing on Tuesday night, February 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on twitch.tv/Podcast Scene Network and on Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. So tune in to that. And, of course, Chris, next Thursday night, man, on the Slammin Thursday edition, we're going to have a guest joining us, right?
Yeah. Who's the guest?
Who's the guest? I sent you the info, and you're like, okay, cool. Who's the guest? Well, the guest is going to be none other than Matt Graffer. He is the ring announcer, and he is the interviewer for the promotion Go Wrestle. If you've been to a Go Wrestle event here in Daytona Beach, or over in Port Orange, now they relocated in Port Orange, you know what I'm talking about. He will be right here live in studio with Everett Lee on next Thursday night for the Slammin Thursday edition. And, of course, he's going to be joining myself and the Chris Rose. And we're going to be talking about a number of things and some really good discussion. We got some stuff planned for next Thursday, because I'll tell you what, you do not want to miss it, because it's going to be a great show with a great guest. And as always, guests will be dropping in here and there whenever me and Chris decide. It's like, Chris, you got a guest? Yeah, I have so-and-so. Hey, Chris, I got a guest. Who do you have, Everett? I got so-and-so. Boom, there we go. We basically book guests to come on with us. The last guest I think we had on, Chris, was Damian Saint.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damien.
That's correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damien called in and briefly discussed what was going on and everything, so which was freaking great. I loved it. But this guest, I definitely gonna love, because he's gonna be joining us with the discussion on what's going on with what we do here on the Slammin Thursday edition. So he'll be joining us for the first hour, and it's gonna be great. He may stick around for the whole show, Chris. I don't know, but if he does, wouldn't that be cool?
It would be, man.
It would.
I don't really know this person, but, just know the guy, and, me and you have a good time. This guy likes to have a good time. We're going to have a great time together. It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be fun. It definitely is. But, yeah, I am definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to this here. So, but anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the show. Is there anything you want to add before we take it home?
Don't forget to come on out to KGW Saturday night, bell time, 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 7. Shopville, Kentucky, in the Somerset area at the Shopville Gymnasium. Me, the Chris Rose versus Coda. Going to be a good one. Come on out and see the rest of the show. Should be a great Saturday night in Shopville. And come on and see the man, the best. I'm on the road back to my KGW United States Championship. The Chris Rose, baby. And catch us next Thursday on Slammin Thursdays.
All right. And that is it. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and viewing and watching us here and listening to this podcast of the Everett Lee Show, Slammin Thursday edition with Everett Lee and the Chris Rose signing off. Everyone have a good night, and we will see you next week for another edition of Slammin Thursday. Peace.